Hey there, everybody. Always glad to be back here with you on the channel. I'm glad you're here. And let's get into a couple of things on this Friday. One, let's start out on a very, very high note. Stephen Colbert, who we know his show will be ending, I think his last show is on May 21st, but it's been announced that on May 5th, set it on your calendars, it's bound to be good and it's gonna set off. Somebody's calling him, I usually say Frump, somebody's calling him the Mango Mussolini. I kind of like it. So Mango Mussolini is going to lose it. This is going to take him over the edge. Why? Because on May 5th, Colbert has announced it's official. He will be taping with Barack Obama, not in his studio, but at the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago. The opening we know is going to be on Juneteenth, but it's already there. 19 acres, you all. I didn't realize it was that big in Chicago's Jackson Park. 19 acres the Obama facility is. That's quite impressive. But anyway, can you imagine the Obama Presidential Center? Colbert is going to tape from there with Barack Obama. That is going to be, he's going to lose it, right? He's going to go from mango to crushed mango, right? So anyway, that's a good bit of news. Excited, and we're going to be looking at Colbert in the future. There's no way that his voice is too powerful. Many of these, the Paramount Warner Brothers deal has gone through, so we know CNN is going to go bye-bye, but there's a lot of talent there that's going to be interested to see. Anderson Cooper, he's been like, he ain't having it. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to him. What's going to happen with Caitlin Collins as well? She's an interesting figure. And poor little Jake Tapper. Yeah, you picked a side, dude. Good luck. You picked a side, and now you another one of them like Tucker Carlson out here regretting your actions, right? All right, but here's what I want to read on today. What's going on with the drugs and this sort of shift in momentum from Mango Mussolini's administration? I did a video a little bit earlier, a few days ago, around the executive order and the approval of further research and use of psychedelic drugs, in particular with the military. So that was one thing. But now, on the heels of that, we have the loosening of, or the reclassification of medical marijuana. Now, who's been in the room when these things have been discussed? None other than Joe Rogan. Is Joe Rogan, so when he signed that when Mango Mussolini signed that executive order around the psych drugs, and the use of these psychedelics for medicinal purposes, and I have a feeling that was not just, let me ask, was that really just about the military, right? Was that just about the military spirit? Is there a design to use these drugs, recommend these drugs on a wider basis? Oh, 2 cards are coming out. The Empress and Death. 100%. The Empress and Death. A rebirth of the use, growth, expansion, abundance. This is financially, big pharma, no doubt, will profit handsomely from the widespread use. And death meaning also rebirth, or a shift or a change or transformation in how these types of drugs have been typically considered, or the risks, but mitigating the risks and seeing them as a viable alternative to treat many issues. So that's on the table. And by the way, I felt like the groovy weight deck today. Felt like that might be appropriate given the topic. All right. Joe Rogan was in the room when he did the executive order. A couple of days later, we have this now on the table, the reclassification of marijuana. Spirit, is Joe Rogan trying to help this administration recapture the younger, perhaps younger or broader base, that this could be an area that wins their support? Is he exerting influence, or are they working with Joe Rogan to try and stop the loss of that aspect of their base, especially younger voters, because that's what took him over the top, supposedly, allegedly. That's what took him over the top in 2024, was this appeal to younger voters. Is Joe Rogan the Eight of Pentacles? Recognizing his expertise, the Hangman, Neptune, very much an energy of holding that upside down. Neptune, very much an energy of alternative realities, sort of relaxing approaches, and pushing the idea that, hey, maybe this isn't such a bad thing after all, which is a really interesting approach given the really tight conservative aspect of the Christian nationalists on the Maga side. So this is a new approach, but it's one that they recognize Rogan's voice, right? He's one of the most popular podcasters out there for them. So are they utilizing him, or has he said, utilize me? We have the Eight of Cups, because people are walking away from the party, or from this from the cult. So this is basically Rogan in the mix saying, hey, I can help you here, but here's what you're going to have to do. This is something different, and here's what you're going to have to do. And the Four of Pentacles, you got to work past preconceptions of the availability of, especially something like medical marijuana, or even making it more available for recreational use. Many states have passed that, but that's what it is. He's saying, hold on to your people, because you're losing your people. Rogan is. He's saying that to Mango Mussolini, and so he's saying, listen, I can help you. I've got my platform. My platform is still strong. Yes, I have been critical of some of your moves, but look, I'm standing here right behind your shoulder in the Oval. I'm still your guy. Listen to what I'm telling you. So yes, of all people, we got Joe Rogan now entering the chat on getting into, pharmaceuticals in that way for entertainment purposes only. But here's the other thing I want to look at, you all. Is there going to be an increasing, basically, federal monopoly on pot in particular? Because with this proposal to reclassify marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug, what it does is, from what I understand, is, number one, it gives tremendous tax relief to cannabis businesses who have been paying anywhere between 21 and 35% in federal taxes. And it allows them to deduct business expenses, which is something they haven't been able to do. Now, when have you ever seen this administration do something that is purely designed to help businesses? I am wondering if this is being done. We've got a hearing coming up in June that Todd Blanche with the DOJ is calling to actually officially reclassify marijuana as a Schedule 3 drug. So it's on the table. It's going to happen. Also, we have states like, pay attention to where this is. We have states, there are ballot initiatives 2026, wanting the voters, young voters in particular. Check it out where we think these ballot initiatives are going to occur, or at least there have been petitions that are being approved or in the works. Florida, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Hawaii, Virginia, Louisiana, Nebraska. What do those states have in common? Red. Most of them, right? Or if not all of them, right? Well, Pennsylvania, I guess, is more of a swing state. I'm not sure about New Hampshire, but Florida, all sorts of things happening in Virginia. We see Virginia doing this thing, swinging, doing it's coming around. But Nebraska, Louisiana, Mike Johnson's backyard? Yeah. All right. Spirit, is there a plan by this administration to profit and basically create a monopoly because businesses still have to be subject to federal oversight and regulations in addition to tax consequences. Are they looking at this as another way to not just encourage, or not, I don't want to say encourage, but attract more voters who, who are going to go along with that and want that, but also money. They don't do things because they're not going to make money from it. We've got the page of wands at the bottom, right? Let's talk about this. Let's get it going. Fresh idea, new approach, right? Because the religious thing is only getting them so far. The religious thing seems to be causing a lot of headache. Quoting from the Bible, all that stuff. It's a headache. Spirit, is this an effort to establish a monopoly over sales of cannabis in the United States? 9 of Cups, what they think people want, makes them look like they're being more less conservative. King of Cups, not sure who that is. That could be a Rogan-esque. We know that RFK Jr. is in the background of a lot of this as well. And, the devil. There we have it. The devil is alluring. The devil can make something look really, really good. But what does it do? It chains you in the end of it, It's bondage. Is this to mollify people? Is mollify a word? That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. Is this to basically soften people, soften the government's appeal to people who will be on board with this, the voting public who would be on board with this? The 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, and this is about making the money. This is about making the money. Is the design ultimately for the government to have a monopoly in that industry? We have the 6 of Pentacles. So that's not an outright monopoly. There still will be businesses who clearly, cannabis dispensaries who will make money from this and will receive these tax breaks. But this is also a card of negotiation. I make this easier for you. You're going to have to make some things easier for me. It's not, come on, since when? We're just going to allow you, you're not a billionaire. This isn't about the billionaire class where we want you to essentially get away with no taxes. You're going to pay taxes, but we'll make it less. You can deduct your business expenses. You work with us, we'll work with you. And there's the world. There's the structure ruled by Saturn, the structure of this industry, the profits from this industry, and taking it into a new realm that at this time, with everything else people are going through, with the cost of living, with gas, with all the other things, healthcare taken away, everything that's been taken away, now it's this pull. And I really think Rogan is in that mix, you all, that says, listen, you're losing people in droves. If you want to get them back, here's one avenue that you can take, right? Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm going to do just a quick show. Spirit, will we see these ballot initiatives? Will we see, as part of the momentum for the 2026 midterms, by this administration to claim something that appeals to younger voters? Is this going to be an issue, especially in those states? Yes, but with a struggle. 3 up and 1 down. There is a slight, yes, this is their issue, but there is a bit of a struggle. I think that's speaking to the pushback that conservatives will still give. There are those who will say, okay, hold up, this is one bridge too far. Having basically licensing and promoting to a certain extent, or making things easier for more businesses to be able to flourish, for these other states like Florida, in particular Louisiana. Okay, so it's happening. This is going to happen. These initiatives are going to get approved. Maybe not in all of these states, but the pendulum has definitely swung in that direction. We've already got, upwards of 24 states that have, at least on the state level, that have approved it. But the government sees that money and they want to get in on the action. More so, not just paying us taxes or will reduce your taxes, but this regulatory oversight where they essentially are going to try and partner in some way so that they get that money back and it helps them stay in power. That is a main thing here. Is they're trying to develop a different approach because again the religious thing is only going so far. It's actually turning a lot of people off. So let's go the other direction. Tell me what you think about that, you all. That's what I'm getting today. All right, I'll talk to you a little bit later. Stay safe out there. Chin up, shoulders back. Remember to breathe. Remember to breathe. Also, and I want to, the spirit reminded me, I'm terrible about promoting or talking about when I'm, classes and things, but I need to do better. So on May 9th, I am offering a class. You can check it out on my website, trulytouchedbytarot.com. You can also book readings with me there. I do offer readings, but on the website, trulytouchedbytarot.com, on the book online tab, I'm offering a class on May 9th on how to protect your energy in chaotic times. Would love to have you there. Check it out, all right? It's in the description, a link in the description box, but also you can just go to my website and click on the book online tab. All right, I'll talk to you real soon. Take care out there. Sky above, earth beneath. You're solid. You're going to be okay. Bye.